Hello and welcome to Smart Student class. In this class, we will be bringing lessons which will help us to come out as better students with better grades at the end of our academic journeys. And today, we are going to be looking at the general format of an assignment, just a general format. Basically, an assignment has got three parts or is supposed to have at least three parts. The first one is the first page of an assignment, which is called the cover page. The second part is the body, and the last one is the references. When we come to the cover page is just for identification, clear identification. So it's for clarity. At a glance, you can tell the student, the lecturer, the question, the institution, the day of submission. So it's just for clarification, identity and clarification. Clear identification. That's what is supposed to go on the cover page. When we come to the body is the answer to your question or answers to your questions. When you go and do your research, whatever you get out there, you write it down, either in the point form or whichever form you put it down. That is the body of the assignment. It could be 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, 10 pages, depending on the instructions you were given. And then the last part is the references. The references is where you put your citations. And by citations, I mean, when you went out to look for the answers to your questions, where did you get these answers from? Did you read a book? And if you read a book, who is the author of the book? Who is the publisher of the book? Which year was it published? And if it's not a book, it could be an article. Where did you get that article? Which article did you read? Where did you get your answers from? So you put down on that page, you put all that down on that page of the references. So the references is basically to show where you got your answers from, so that you don't look like you just wrote your own things. So that's where we put the references on the last page of the assignment. Now come with me, look at the format practically from the screen. So as we said, this is our cover page, which we are making now. And as we said, the cover page is for clarity and identification. So we start by identifying the institution, which is, in this case, we call it the institution, the Smart Student University. From there, we put the logo of the university, the logo we normally use, which I've come up with for the purpose of this class. So after you paste your logo there, you should have it somewhere else saved, then you copy it, you paste it there. From there, you can resize it to the size you want. In this case, I think that's fair enough. From there, we go to the faculty. In our case, we are going to use Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. And then from there, we go to the department, because some faculties have got several departments. So we put our department there. And I'm going to use Department of Political and International Relations. International Relations. Then from there, we leave some space to make our work look smarter. So after leaving some space, now we identify the unit title under which we are doing this assignment. So we write unit title. We put a colon there, and then we fill the unit title. And for the purpose of this lesson, to make it a bit shorter, I did this work somewhere else. So I'm going to go there and copy the unit title. And there it is. And so we put it there as Administration of Public Enterprises, and then the unit code you put a full colon after writing unit code. Then you can fill in the unit code, and we are going to use Smart Student class as our code. You can name it like 001. Then from there we put some space again for it to look smart. And now we identify the student. So we write name first, full colon, and then the name of the student. We can call this student Smart Student. Then from there the registration number, which is still an identification of the student. We write registration in short, registration number, then we put full colon. Then we can put registration number like 001 as well. Then from there we put some space. And now we put the name of the lecturer. You can just write the name lecturer. Then we put full colon. Let's call our lecturer Dr. Smart. Then from there, we go to the question. We write question. It can be either question or task, but we just use one of those words. After writing that, we put a full colon. Then we write our question there. And again, for the purpose of this one, I have done this work somewhere else, so I go and copy the question. So let me copy the question, then we put it there. So we put our question there. That is our cover page. If you look at it, it's not spread up to the bottom, and that's one thing you should always make sure your cover page fills the whole page for the work to look smart, so that it doesn't look like it's hanging. But we'll come back to that when we are now doing the final formatting after we have done our assignment. Now from there, we go to the body of the assignment. So we Control Enter to create another page. Then I'm going to go to the page where I've done the work, because as I said earlier, I did this earlier for the lesson not to be too long and boring. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the body of the assignment and transfer it to our working screen. So there I go, I'm copying now the work from introduction to conclusion. Now there we are, we copy the work. Remember, this is the work now you should be typing, but I am copying it from somewhere else because I wanted to make the work easier for us and the lesson shorter. So there, now we have 12 pages. From cover page to conclusion, we have 12 pages. Now that's the second part of our assignment. From there, now we go to the last part, which is the references. And you put your cursor at the end of the conclusion. Then you Control Enter to create another page. Then now I go to where I'm copying the work from. I copy the references. You remember what we said about the references? It's just about referring the reader or your teacher or whoever is looking at your assignment to prove that you did the work. You didn't just write your own things. Now we paste. And now we have our work there now. Now from there, what we do, there are some things we look at when you are doing the assignment. Now let's go back to the cover page. We said the cover page should be occupying from top to bottom. The other thing we should look at is the font. Normally, the cover page can have a slightly different font from the work. So what we are going to do, we are going to put our cursor there, hold Shift, and we mark that area, and then we go to the font area. Let's put it 14, and then for the purpose of this assignment or these classes, we'll be using Times Roman as our default font. So we put Times Roman, and then we bold it, and then we put it in caps, in capital letters. Sometimes the cover page looks better when it's in capital letters, And then we go to the spacing. We can put the spacing to be 1.5. Then we look at our cover page. As the writing's gone up to the bottom, it's almost there. So what else do we need to do for the cover page to look smart? You can leave it at that, or you can center your cover page. A centered cover page sometimes looks better. You center from top to lecturer's name, then the question, you don't center that one. You just try on the left. That one, it's okay. At the same time, you can do your question in small letters. You can choose to do that in small letters. So what you do, you can bold, you can highlight from there to that one. Then you come here, you say lowercase to make it easier. And then you go to the first word. You come here, you capitalize it. Then if there's another thing that needs to be capitalized, like where another sentence starts, you highlight that one. You come here, then you capitalize it. And there we have our cover page, and it looks really smart. From just at a glance, you can identify the institution, the faculty, the department, the unit title, the unit code, the name of the student and the registration number, the name of the lecturer, and now the question. Now let's go to the body of the assignment. This is the body of the assignment, and there are various ways to format the body of the assignment. You can choose to justify your work, both sides, or just justify on the left. For me, I find it justified both sides looking more smarter. So I'll be, for the purpose of our lessons, I'll be just justifying both sides. So what do? We put our cursor from the beginning where the introduction is, and then we highlight the whole assignment by holding the button down. You highlight up to the conclusion, and then you come here and click this one. From there, I think it looks neat. It looks more neater than it was when it was just justified on the left side. The other thing you need to look at is how do you start your paragraphs? Do you intend them? By intending, like the first sentence, does it go inside? You can choose to use the intention, or you can just have it starting from the same line. That one is just up to you. Or if you have been given like instructions by your supervisor, that one you just make a decision how to do it, but let it be uniform. Like if you look at this one is not. This one is starting from the beginning, but now the next one is some paragraphs are going inside, others are starting. That is not uniform. So what we do, if we want to like indent all the lines of the first paragraph, we Control and U, tab once on every at the beginning of every sentence of each paragraph. If you don't want it like that, then you can just cancel that, and all the paragraphs start at the beginning, but make sure all of them start at the beginning in that case. So there we are. Then from there we go to the last page now, which is our references page and our last part of the assignment. You just make sure the word reference is bold, and then your references are there. If it's a book. Now, this one depends on the instructions you have been given. Which format have you been given as instructions to use? Are you using APA referencing? Which one are you using? If you are doing APA or whichever format you are using, you are supposed to be averse or conversant with the rules of that format. So if it is APA, you make sure it starts with the name of the author, the year, full stop, the book or the journal should be italicized. Like this one, we are supposed to italize the journal if we are using APA. But because the purpose of this class is not really to show you how to do the assignment, but how to make it smart. So
you're supposed to know which references are you using, which format of references are you using. If it is APA, you're supposed to utilize the journal or utilize the book and such things. And now, this one brings us to the end of today's lesson. One thing you're supposed to note is that in this assignment, the work, we don't have page numbers. We don't have table of contents, which you can choose to have. We don't have abstract, which we can also choose to have. But as we said, it is not. This one is not the absolute format. So in our next episode, we will be learning how to put page numbers, how to break the pages, how to make the table of contents.
And so that's all about today's lesson. Please, if you like it, go like, share, and subscribe. And maybe if you have a comment, you can put it in our comment section. Thank you very much, and God bless you.